Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel that loves a challenge. I'm your host, Sazon Fox. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. I am doing... Excuse me. We'll go ahead and get started here shortly. Give me just a couple moments. Thanks. Alright, good to go. Hello, Van. You are just done with running. Nice. Hopefully you had a good run. That's not where it should be. Hold on. I forgot I had to switch it over. Alright, there we go. Eater sprint at the end. Wait a second. Hold on. I definitely saved, right? Hey, Newton. Okay, cool. Yeah, I saved. I thought I didn't save. Hello, SRB. There is a new Twitch category. Alright. We should get everybody, I think, to about 41, I think, is what we're sitting. That should be a good number. Actually, you know what I gotta do? I gotta see what Koga's Mon are at. I think it'll be 43. Can you name them on again? Because last stream she said we can do another round of names. I mean, if you get the name, you get the name. As always, nothing has changed. So, sure, you can go ahead and claim a name when one becomes available. FireRed and Leaf Green. He is doing what? 43 is technically the cap. I think, honestly, Kadabra could slap through all of these with its hands behind its back. Ooh, hold on. How much money am I sitting on? 78? I think we might have enough to go get myself a Thunderbolt. So, FNAF Cart exists. I played the demo and suffered in interesting ways. That's like, I don't understand everybody's obsession with turning everything into a cart game. Like, it's really weird to see things like, you know, Bloodborne cart and stuff like that. Okay, 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. There's also a Disney cart game. Yeah, but I mean, that's official licensing. I mean, if you're talking about, like, people making their own stuff, that always kind of, I'm always like, but why? Alright, we'll put Cacaw up. Do we actually need Cacaw aside from, like, yeah, fighting Pokemon, so yeah. We could either have Pei Newton or Cacaw do its thing, so. And just in case something happens. We're not fighting the rats, though. Whoa! Did you see that nonsense? That thing almost went down completely. Cacaw, what happened? Almost lost our flyer right there. That's the reason I hate speeding stuff up. Because I always feel like the moment I speed things up, stuff starts happening and then I have no idea what happened. And my Pokemon suddenly just gets flattened and then I'm like, but why? The shiny? I mean, there hasn't been any shiny since, but just say that I was bouncing up and down for no reason and got stuck in a respawn loop. Leave it there. Gotcha. Could be worse fates, right? Yeah, we body slammed the big boys and... just strength and headbutt the little dudes. We're hoping for a Spearow here soon. Not a rat, though. You've played War Thunder today with 2 random people you met on Discord. Sounds fun. There we are, Spearow. I could rest. Yeah, I really actually enjoy playing with randoms and stuff. I used to have a section on my channel called Playing with Pugs, which is pugs being pickup groups. But I haven't played with pugs in a long time. You know, it just never seemed like people were ever interested in playing with randos anymore. Sleep talk. Probably not good. While asleep, the user randomly uses one of the moves it knows. I guess that's not bad, but taking out any of these would not be great. I feel like rest is fairly solid, but rest is really a leveling thing. And once we get to the point where we don't need rest anymore, we're not gonna need it, so... Rest is really just leveling tech as far as I'm concerned. Okay, 3 more body slam. 2. That's the last body slam I have. And that's the last attack move I have as well, so... Alright, we'll switch takedown up front, and I think Pay Newton could work, but Pay Newton's going to be better off on the trainers up there, rather than anything down here that can cause a lot of physical discomfort. God, Twister's such a bad move. Alright, time to head over to the gambling center. You can exchange your coins for fabulous prizes. Cool. Do you need more coins? Yeah. We'll only go down to 38. I think that's reasonable. I think everything is 40. Is 4,000 in here? That's Ice Beam. Iron Tail. Nobody wants Iron Tail. What are you gambling for? I'm just taking a look at the TMs. I think Thunderbolts would be really good, but I think Ice Beam is probably... That Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball wouldn't be a bad move, but I think it's a Ghost-type move, right? Flamethrower is pretty good. Yeah, so either Ice Beam, which will come off of the Lapras anyway. And we'll end up using the Lapras. Excuse me. The Thunderbolt would be pretty good. Flamethrower I can't see being very great. I mean, there are some things it's strong against, but, like, I'm not going to have very many options to use fire outside of against, like, Lorelei, and most of those are water types anyway. So I think Thunderbolt would probably be our best choice. Thunderbolt or Ice Beam? Oh, we already healed. Nice.
Holy shit, that's so big.
Alright, let me go ahead and change this real quick. Okay, so 43 is technically our cap. I really think 41 should really be all I need for it. Doesn't Lapras learn Ice Beam by level up? It sure does. Yep, that is definitely something it does. That's kind of why I was like, I could take the Lapras and have it learn Ice Beam by level up, and then have a backup Ice Beam on, like, Gyarados or something. Yeah, Jolteon's pretty much doing all the work now. It's gotten to the point where it's pretty autopilot for most of its stuff. Da 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 da. Yeah, this isn't a bad place to level up. It's not like the fastest, but it's also a pretty safe place to level. Thunder Wave. Thunder Waves have some options. It's 100% paralysis. But I don't know. I feel like if I was going to go for the paralysis, there are better options. Poison itself is okay as a statistic. I think sleep is good, but the problem with sleep is the fact that it just doesn't... Could use Thunderbolt because it doesn't seem like it's going to learn it. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I don't think it learns... I don't think it learns anything else. We'll take away Thunder Wave. It's okay. Paralysis has a high chance of... I mean, obviously it would work, but the chance of triggering, I think, is like a 30-something% regardless of what the game says. And, you know, sleep usually is a 2-turn thing unless something has a way to wake up faster. I just assume I only get 2 turns for any sleep-type move. Poison works, but I feel like Burn would be the much better option. So if there was a way to create, like, guaranteed Burn like Will-O-Wisp or something, I would take it. Will-O-Wisp would be a much better move, honestly. Alright, 43. So this is done. We can move you around. Cacaw, man, I feel like Cacaw gets slapped every time it goes out and does something. I feel like it's constantly getting hammered. This is not a good place for Cacaw to level, so I don't think we're gonna continue leveling it here. Just go for the strength and then headbutts after. Could train at Diglett's Cave? Yeah, it probably could. It's low enough level, I think Diglett Cave would actually be decent for it. I'd have to see if there might be a better grass place for it to level. Because I've noticed that it tends to get poisoned a lot, so we're going to avoid anything with poison, but I'm wondering if there is a good grass place that I could do some type of leveling at. 39. Yeah, we're gonna try and avoid the Spearows and stuff from here. Otherwise, it's just wasted potential. Got that good flinch in, though. Level 40. Them rats. Always causing me issues. Alright, I think we can still headbutt our way through. 6. 5. Yeah, it looks like headbutt's strong enough still. 4. 3. 2. 1. Alright, and that's its last one there. Alright, and then we switched for takedown. Good evening, Jury, and how are you doing today? We're just finishing out some of our grinds here. Richard and Cacaw are gonna need good places to grind at. I think Richard could grind up top. My only problem is the Machokes and stuff might do a lot of work to it, but if I could just make sure that it's matched up against poison types, it shouldn't have any problems. So, as for Cacaw, I mean, it pretty much will take out any of the other stuff. Yeah, the water pulse should take out the birds, I think, for most of them. How am I doing? You know, I'm doing alright. I'm really tired today. Like, I feel very physically exhausted. Richard may struggle because coughing and wheezing have... Oh, that's right. Disregard. That's not a good idea. I had forgotten that they have levitate. So that means it's pointless. And the only person who could level there is Newton. Trying to learn Hydro Pump. Let's get rid of Twister. Twister is god-awful. Even if Hydro Pump has, like, an 80% chance, a 1 in 5 chance of hitting, man, it's better than this garbage. Has not even made anybody flinch since I've used it. I guess we'll just Hydro Pump the rats, I suppose. If I had Mystic Water, I think I'd give Mystic Water to it over, Black Glasses. The Black Glasses are strong, but Mystic Water would be a much better move for it overall. Or Mystic Water would be a much better item, I mean. Are we out of surfs now? We are. All I've got lefts are water pulses and bites. So if we're out of water pulse, that'll be it. You could also buy those from the game corner. Gonna need to grind up trainers. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, was just giving it something, giving it excess so it had those available to it as a backup. I also believe it can learn... I think it can learn Flamethrower or some nonsense like that, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm remembering correctly. It can also learn Thunderbolt as well. And I believe I would usually put Thunderbolt onto the Gyarados, just because I never really had an electric type to stab with it. 41, 43, 40, and then these two struggling. You know what? Let's put Coco up front. Listen, you're not off to a great start, my dude. Learning block? What is that? The user blocks the foe's way with arms spread wide to prevent escape. Ah, it's a lock-in move. Interesting. I can't see that being that useful for me. I'm sure it could be useful, but I can't see it being that useful. Oh, hold on. Let me deal with this bot. Snorlax, iconic wide arms. Yeah, don't you remember that time where Snorlax uses its gigantic arms to stop everybody from getting in its way? Like, it's not because it's sleeping and blocking the path, it's because it was using block and using its wide arms. Block, like what we did to that bot. I really love how, like, it's such a body slam being such an iconic move that, like, it's one of the big tool belt items in Snorlax's belt, like, in its movesets. Yeah, I can learn a lot of other stuff, but, like, body slam is, when I think of Snorlax, I definitely do think of body slam and, like, eating things. I do think it would be funny if they had a Pokemon show, a Pokemon cooking show, and a Snorlax was the chef. I feel like that would be pretty hilarious. Because, you know, it would sleep after it's done with its cooking show. But pretty much that's all it would do. It would get up, it would do its cooking thing, and then it would go back to bed immediately. Just an entertaining television idea. So I'm assuming that most of the Pokemon here, like, turn golds when they're shiny, aside from, you know, Doduo. I assume that Spearow or Fearow, it's a chonky boy using its massive body, is going to go ahead and learn, is going to be gold for its shiny. I feel like every Pokemon should have 3 variants of shiny. Every Pokemon should have a variant that's all golds. Should have a variant that is the regular shiny. And then, you know, the normal coloration. I feel like that is a pretty good way to go about it. Just like how Arbok has 6 different varieties of Arbok, depending on which version of the game you're playing. Hey, there's our 43. Okay. We're not gonna fight the little guys. We're gonna try and Hydro Pump the big bodies. Just Water Pulse down whatever, Surf down some of the other stuff. No weenie huts here. What I do think is very funny is that something like Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan doesn't learn block, as far as I know. Aw, man, that makes me miss our Mankey. Poor Mankey. It didn't deserve its death. I guess we'll just bite the Spearow or whatever. Because we have it, may as well use it, right? How much has it got left? Just a little bit. I think we can use an item to keep it going. Just for a little bit longer. Well, duh, they don't have wide arms, unlike Snorlax. Yeah. Don't you know? I don't know. You know, I would laugh if something like Gyarados learned wide arms, and I'm like, but why? Alright, so... Take down, like and sub, Coco, Pay Newton, I think. My only issue of Pay Newton is, God forbid, it get attacked by a fucking, like... Raticate or something. I think my best bet is this, or these guys right here. For the Versus Seeker. What do you want? Well... Would you rather earn 5 million on your stream per year or 5 million per year with your book series if it's done? If I am earning 5 million per year with my books, I feel like I am not doing a very good job of franchising and marketing. So, 5 million per year with streaming is a much better thing. In my opinion, anyway. Nice bike handed over. The fact that I can just use confusion for basically everything here. Come and play, little mouse. I'll treat you right. Brother, This guy's weird. You can detour from Vermilion along the coast. Feeling hungry and mean, I really need a punching bag. Yeah, hungry and mean, and I need a punching bag. Is this the guy with the wheezing? No. Big old manky. Key. Yeah, I need a good place to get those other two leveled, though. That's my one issue. I'm wondering if that's enough steps for it to be charged. Yep. So it charges to the Pokemon Center and then back. It's pretty sad that I only have to, like, use the lowest level of psychic power that I have to fight any of this stuff. Wheezing, we're not gonna goof it, we're gonna psychic it. I heard in a video that people outside of Africa dislike Americans because Americans live in a bubble. I mean, I don't know. I would assume it's because, we're known as the obnoxious American.
People
Or
from the UK are worse.
yeah, I hear we guess Diglett Cave could be ideal. Richard can fight almost everything from the bikers except the coughings. Yeah, but I don't know if it would be able to dig and guarantee it would take it out is the problem. It could technically fight everything from the bikers, but, like, I don't know if it's a guaranteed knockout is the problem. People outside of America dislike Americans. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's we do have a bad reputation as tourists to begin with. We do tend to treat everybody like, why don't you speak American? Hey, what the hell is this food? Why do I have to pay for ice water? Kind of thing. We do speak from a place of privilege. I mean, that is America has an abundance of stuff. And when people go elsewhere, they just expect everything to be to their standards without, like, trick. What does trick do? A move that tricks the foe into trading held items with the user. That seems useful if it were on anybody but Kadabra. Oh, is that a door I see? Skedaddle from the stream to find out where it leads. Bye-bye. Alright, catch you later, SRB. I mean, so that's all done. I'm wondering if maybe the grass up here would be good for Cacaw? Let's try the grass up here. And then if not, I guess we can go to Diglett Cave. And it should be alright. We'll see how Diglett Cave treats us after we check up here. Oh boy, back to the Kates. What? Cacaw, you missed! Get out of here. Oh, it's basically the same Mon either way. Just lower levels. Alright, let's try out Diglett Cave. Because Americans don't go often to their countries, because I've already been to 4 other countries, and most Americans haven't been to 1 other country.
Because we're not well-traveled like that. Because 1, economy. 2, our country is a good chunk of most of Europe.
So, let me put this way.
30 minutes, they've probably passed through 2 different countries. 30 minutes.
The state of Texas
not even in another city.
Could pretty much engulf most countries in Europe. Like, let me put size. Let's start with the size of America. you may think that when we're talking about well-traveled, sure, a lot of us may not have been to other countries as Americans, but our country is fucking huge. Like, you don't have a scale for how large the country is until you really think about it. Like,
it's not even us trying to badge them, it's just a literal fact that, like, 30 minutes they might have passed into another country and almost to another. 30 minutes, we're not out of our fucking city.
Yeah, like, a plane to another part of our country is a normal thing. Like, if I were to drive from DC to the bottom of Virginia, that's like
Couple hours.
Yeah, that's like maybe a 6-hour, 7-hour drive from top to bottom of just the state. And then the next state, like if I were to drive all the way to the bottom of Florida from where I am, that's multiple days worth of driving. The country is absolutely humongous. It's one of those things that I always say, like, if Americans don't get out, you can be in Germany in 1 hour. Yeah, in 1 hour, in 1 hour, I could be, like, I could go get sushi. In 1 hour, I could go get sushi. That's about as, the distance from things. Like, our commute from place to place is ridiculous. So, like, it's one of those things. If Americans don't ever leave their country, I don't think they are missing a lot of stuff elsewhere in the world, but our country is so fucking big that, like, there's so much to see, and every state has its own culture, its own people, its own habitats.
On top of the,
like,
the sheer size, like, the economy alone makes it hard to travel.
Yeah, and that was my next thing. The American economy, everything here is just expensive. I'm sure in other places it can be expensive as well. Like, I'm not gonna knock on things like duty tariffs and import taxes and you know, basically the trade tax, shall we say, for things that need to be pulled in. But, like, everything is expensive here. Everything from travel to healthcare to products in general. We don't make enough money to go ahead and travel. And a lot of other places, they may tax the hell out of other people, but they do have the freedoms of not having to worry about, oh no, my ankle is broken, better cough up $5,000 kind of thing. So there's a lot for the reasons why a lot of Americans don't travel, and I don't think it's because of lack of interest in travel. I think it is just lack of availability or capability to do so.
That's a lot of, like, Americans' dreams is to travel.
Yeah, that's why when you ask most Americans, they're like, what's your dream? Traveling. Because that's what they want to do. They really do want to go out and travel, but it's just not in the cards. It's not in the cards. We either work ourselves to death, or we just get stuck in an infinite loop of never being able to do anything. It's unfortunately just life sometimes. Let's check this out and see how this grass works. The grass, I think, hey, yeah, this might actually work with things like odyshes and stuff. This might not be too terrible. It might not be the best grind, but it isn't too bad. Could be worse grinds. Yeah, Europe also has a bigger history. We have more countries. Yeah, America's not that old. But I mean, at the same time, like, you guys do have a lot of history, but most of that history is Roman or Greek. You know, it's always been one country ruling another country. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I think most of us pale to China's history. So... But yeah, I mean, if history was a way to go ahead and account for things, that would be cool, but we have a lot of things that us as Americans just don't have the opportunity to. Roman, Greek, Spanish, French, Holy Roman, Soviet Union, Vikings. Well, I mean, those are all, like...
Most of them is, like...
Most of those are all different areas. But, like, it's the same... When you come out to America, it's kind of the same way that you guys have a lot of history based on...
That's like saying we have history with, obviously, England and all of that, where we... separate from.
Yeah, but we also...
Not American history, but it is American history.
Yeah, I mean, but we also have things like the West, like the Midwest, or, you know, San Francisco culture, or New York, or Florida. Like, a lot of those areas have a lot of things to them. Like, Florida has a lot of Spanish history and stuff to it. The middle East Coast has a lot of Old English history. I think more closer to like New York and Pennsylvania and stuff like that. They have more New English history, but
that's why they separate the North and the South so much, because they're so different.
Yeah, so like a lot of our history comes from the history of Europe anyway. So we have a lot of that here. Like, the closer you get to the top of the country, the more French you're going to get. The closer you get to the bottom of our country, the more Spanish you're going to get.
Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, Pennsylvania has a massive, like, Netherlands, culture, because a lot of people from the Netherlands and Germany came over to Pennsylvania. So, like, that's a lot of history there for it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff from other countries that are here in America. So it's kind of saying that we don't have a long history is kind of a misnomer, because yeah, our country itself doesn't have a big like history, because it hasn't been around a long time. But because of where it all comes from,
the people have the history.
Yeah, the people have most of that history. Hello, John Humez Guerrero. How are you doing today? What do you want me to call you? Do you want me to go by your whole name or just go by John? I think you're the only John we have here. So if you go with John, you get to be the original John. I don't think we have another John right now. Yeah, in the Netherlands, we also have one other province, which is Friesland, and they're weird. I don't know anything about them, so I couldn't tell you. John, fantastic. Welcome, John. How are you doing today? I'm just in the middle of getting, like, my grind stuff done. We're kind of in a weird spot where I could go do Koga, but I want to get my team kind of built up a little bit. And Kakal and... So, my issue right now is that Kakal, or Firo, and Richard... our Doug Trio, they're just not up to par. And there's no good place to level them at either. Like, I can't really fight a lot of the stuff in this area with them. So I'm kind of just like, okay, I guess I could get stuff up. But there's no good place to level them at the moment. Cycling Road is okay, but the Radicates hit too hard for either of them to get significant stuff out of it. Plus, there's Doduos there. And Doduos will wreck the shit out of Richard, and they've also wrecked the shit out of Kakal. So I'm trying to just find a decent place to level them. Even the Versus Seeker isn't necessarily great. What's my starter? It was Bulbasaur. In the red, blue, yellow era, I started off with Bulbasaur because I realized that, the majority of stuff has poison, and Bulbasaur is immune to poison, in Red, Blue, Yellow, and the remakes as well, so Fire Red and Leaf Green. So Bulbasaur is really good choice, especially when the vast majority of Pokemon can Poison, and Poison is an absolute game killer early. What's my favorite dead famous painter?
Van
That...
Gogh.
Huh?
Van Gogh for me.
You like Van Gogh? Van Gogh! I don't know, like...
You would probably like Monet.
I've seen some of Monet's stuff, and, like... I don't know, probably Michelangelo. If we have to get into the way that stuff is there, Michelangelo, just because...
Did they say painter or artist?
Painter.
So, Michelangelo was a renowned painter, but he was more renowned
for his sculpting. Yeah. But, like, when you see his paintings, like, his very yeah, but his Fresnos and stuff were extremely well known. And, you know, his style is gorgeous. Like, that and Sleep Powder can mess up opponents. Yeah, but I feel like if you're gonna go with Sleep Powder, you're better off going with Butterfree. With Compound Eyes and Sleep Powder, I think it's like a 90, 95, 98. I don't remember the exact percentage. But it's close to 100% chance to put something asleep with Butterfree. So it's a much better... Hello, Jupiter. It's a much better option to have Butterfree around an early game to catch things with that 95%, like, sleep chance. So, and I'm just not a big fan of Bulbasaur serves its purpose to run you through the early game. By the time you get to Koga, you really no longer need Bulbasaur or any of its other stuff. Like, it's pretty pointless to have it around. They're not very strong, and from that point forward, you're just gonna have better Pokemon to work with. I wonder if I versus Seeker on the dudes out there. Van Gogh's your favorite as well? Nice.
Yay.
But at the very least, you want to keep Sleep Powder out of Blue's hands. Yeah, otherwise we're going to wind up in the back of his SUV in his trunk, and he's going to be like, ha ha! Ah, so you're the champion. You're not going to be champion for long. Buries us out in the desert. As he's shoveling dirt into our grave, he's like, this is for my Raticate. Yeah, let's try doing the Versus Seeker on these dudes. I think that Cacao could possibly take on all those trainers. I don't know what the XP is going to look like, per se, so we'll see. We'll see. Might be worth it, might not. Victory or Cycling Road is okay. This is for my Mankey. Another YouTuber I know has had trouble with Blue having Sleep Powder. I don't think I've ever really... Oh, I get it, because if they had Bulbasaur... Yeah, I suppose that would make sense. One of the big reasons I take it is really just the poison immunity. It's too good to not have access to poison immunity like that early on. And Sleep Powder, I found that the freaking game cheats. Sleep Powder on you is not the same as Sleep Powder, like, for your opponent. When you try and Sleep Powder the opponent, it's probably gonna miss. And it's gonna last, like, all of 2 turns. But God forbid they Sleep Powder you. It's like they went ahead and fucking put a chloroform cloth over your Pokemon, and then hit it with some Rohypnol, and forced it to, like, get knocked out. Your Pokemon's gonna be sitting there, you know, with its thumb up its ass for the next 8 billion turns. Experience Simulator is so fun. Honestly, it's weird having the Versus Seeker. I think it's pretty cool because it does give access to trainers again and makes it a hell of a lot better to grind. Normally, I would be grinding in Diglett Cave. But Diglett Cave is problematic and scary. Because all of those Pokemon can... Because of Arena Trap, it's not like I'm going to be getting out of there anytime soon. And, I think Diglett may or may not be able to handle a lot of that stuff, so... Random question. Have you attempted a Nuzlocke of Brilliant Diamond? If you're asking this question, I assume I should go ahead and explain my challenge now, so that way you understand. The short answer is no. The long answer is it's on the way. So for any of you guys who are new to the channel, hello, welcome. You guys know where the buttons are. I don't need to tell you if you like the stuff. So the challenge itself is that we are doing what is called the Pokemon Nuzlocke Gauntlet. It is definitely one of the hardest Nuzlockes available. Outside of, like, the specialized ROMs, and I think, like, a couple other things. I would say this is the hardest just because of the length, rather than the hardest because of its difficulty. So the Pokemon Nuzlocke Gauntlet consists of all of the mainline games, excluding Let's Go and Arceus, because Let's Go is a blatant cash grab and a spin-off. And Arceus, the Legend series, also a spin-off. I know people will argue with me on it, and I know the Pokemon Company will be like, but they're mainline games. No. Let's Go is not a mainline game. It's a way to funnel people from Pokemon Go into the mainline series. /rant. But so it consists of, like, I think 32, 36 games, something like it says it in the title, I don't remember. But every game is treated as its own Nuzlocke, but the entirety of the series is treated as a singular Nuzlocke. So if I end up, like, blacking out or whiting out in any of those series, then I have to start all the way back at Red. And it's not just, like, one game per generation, it's every game per generation. It's Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal. So, yeah. Right now we're in FireRed. I think that's Game 9. Then after this we gotta do Leaf Green, and then after that we go back to Emeralds. Because it goes Ruby, Sapphire, then FireRed, Leaf Green, and then Emerald for Generation 3. It's freaking weird. If it interests you, I've attempted a Brilliant Diamond Nuzlocke and lost. Listen, if you have tips, please let me know. I have only played Generations... I've played Generations 1, 2, and 5 outside of doing this challenge. So Generation 3, completely new for me. Generation 4, never touched at all. When we get to Black and White, I have some understanding of it, but I haven't played Black 2, White 2. So I'm kind of really out of my depth when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Use the Versus Seeker so much. Shit gave me memory loss. Probably all the radiation. But yeah. You don't understand, you don't underestimate Cynthia. Yeah, everyone and their mother has told me that Cynthia is going to be a gigantic problem. I don't really understand, because obviously I haven't been there yet. But, I mean, I'm sure I will figure it out, and everybody will warn me. Fucking sludge. It's gonna get poisoned. Mother of turkeys. I'm so tired of it being poisoned. Cacao is literally poisoned all the time. Personally had Chimchar as your starter. Nice. I don't even know what starter is oh shit, you scared me.
I didn't put the spicy stuff in it.
Okay, thank you.
Let it sit for a little bit.
I don't actually know what the quote good starter is for Gen 4. In Gen 4 you want an Ice Glock. I feel like every generation needs a good Ice Glock. I think that's just part of the Pokemon experience. If you don't have an Ice Glock, you're gonna have a problem. Why did I even do that? I'm about to fly back anyway. Yeah, this takes too long. I don't think this is a good place to level. We could possibly do the Lavender Town upwards, because I think most of those are... Infernape is the best one. There's truth to the claims of Cynthia's threat level. Yeah, everyone has told me who's seen I'm doing a Nuzlocke has told me that Cynthia is the absolute threat. That there are a few game enders in terms of the run itself. Gold, Silver, and Crystal encounter 2/3 with the rival is a big game ender. May's second encounter is a run ender, and that Cynthia is a big run ender. Black and White, I think people have told me Black 2, White 2, the big, run ender is Nesis, or the Necrozma, or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, I've been warned of some of the big speed bumps along my way. Chimchar was a solid option from my experience. It'll be the first time I think I've run the fire type. I have, in any of the original plus remakes, I've run Bulbasaur, and in, Gold, Silver, Crystal, I ran Totodile. Just because I didn't know what I would have access to, and Rage Totodile is a great way to handle Whitney. Just because Double Slap Clefairy comes beforehand, and you can rely on Double Slap Clefairy to boost that Rage to make it a 2-hit KO on the Milk Tank most of the time. Personally lost to Cynthia in both the normal playthrough and a Nuzlocke. Man, y'all are making me shake in my boots from, y'all are making her sound like she's a goddamn rap god. Like, I'm gonna walk up to her, and she's gonna take my Pokemon and snatch it from my hand and throw it in the ocean and be like, "You gonna cry, baby? You gonna cry?" Swampert is disgustingly good. Yeah, Mudkip was an unexpectedly good choice. Like, its typing is good, access to water moves, access to ground moves, and access to ice moves. Like, it's a great mon. It's probably the reason why I like Seismitoad as much as I do. Because Seismitoad just has access to so many things. Water, poison, ground, sound, good support abilities. Like, Seismitoad is my favorite Pokemon. People always ask me, and I had to think about it for a while, but Seismitoad, I think, is my favorite so far. I don't have much experience with some of the later generations, like, XY, Sun, Moon, Ultra, and stuff like that, so I don't really know what's coming in those. I may one day have a new favorite Pokemon, but until then. No, I think we go down. Down will take us through this area with a lot of these water guys. My problem is going to be the big Snorlax chilling in the way. That said, recently swept through her entire team using Dragon Dance Gyarados. Water-type run of Brilliant Diamond. If I was a trainer, I would probably be a water trainer. If I had to choose a singular type, I always find my team is predominantly water. And not just because water-type is so prevalent, because I have the option of replacing with other stuff. But I always find water pretty much covers everything. There's a water variant for all of the stuff you need. XY is free. Mostly. Yeah, I hear XY is pretty easy. I think, in terms of difficulty, I think Sun, Moon, Ultra, and Black 2, White 2 are considered some of the most difficult in the entire series. Using items, admittedly, got through without resorting to another Pokemon. That's fine. This is not a hardcore Nuzlocke. I mean, technically, we don't even use gym caps, so we don't really care about our gym cap level. I tend to keep gym caps in mind, because I'm not going to go ahead and level up to 99 and stomp my way through these games. It defeats the whole purpose of it. So we're not playing with hard gym caps. There's soft gym caps for us, but I had 2 or 3 times to become champion in Diamond. Oh, wow. You saw a fake Mr. Beast giveaway Roblox on YouTube, and you reported him. That sounds like you're doing your part. Yeah, I'm not against using items in the game. So when I first came into this was my first ever Nuzlocke. Like, I had never played a Nuzlocke before attempting to go ahead and go for the Gauntlet. So it was really difficult for me to understand and learn a lot of this stuff. As I've gotten better, I've kind of used a lot less items than I did initially. But yeah, I still use them occasionally. It's just the nature of the beast. Be patient. Fishing is a waiting game. To date, I've never managed to clear a Nuzlocke. I mean, realistically speaking, from what I've done so far, this is my 9 plus 5. This will be my 14th Nuzlocke clear. Your mic is really loud. Oh, that's probably me just being really loud. Sorry about that. I'm speaking really loudly. So this will be my 14th Nuzlocke clear. This is my second attempt at the challenge. The first attempt died out in Crystal. We died to Morty's Gengar. Very nasty sleep hypnosis combo, which there was nothing I could do about it. And then, yeah, now we've all the way gone all the way to Gen to here where it is. This guy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this guy is an electrician, not a fisher. Yeah, I believe this dude is an electrician and not a fisherman. So what we're going to do is we are going to super potion this thing real quick. We'll switch out to Richard. If it turns out it's not, like, no big deal. But I remember losing one of my Pokemon to an explosion at some point. Oh, that might not be the fisherman, dude. It might be... Oh, that's a double battle down there. I don't want to lose Richard to anything. That's my big problem, is I'm so scared of losing Richard. Like, I don't think I've held on to a Diglett in any of these games. Every time I've gotten a Diglett, something has happened to him. About to use Shelter. Yeah, we'll keep it as is. It could possibly have something like Aurora, but I don't honestly know. Withdraw. I don't think it's gonna one-shot it. If it interests you, I've started a casual run of Gen 4. Ah, the same as the, if it interests me, check out your Nuzlocke Brilliant Diamonds. Got it. Cynthia's Garchomp is free as long as you get a fast or bulky water type. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe I'll get lucky. The one thing I've noticed is I have absolutely garbage luck for catches. So, the majority of the time, I am not going to be very lucky. 19 times 24, 614, 616 hours per game. Actually, no. What do you mean, actually, no? Not a streamer of any kind? Ah. Well, I mean, I always tell people, like, the reason I always stream is because I feel like if I'm playing video games and I'm going to be doing this regardless, why not go ahead and stream it and share it with people? I constantly tell people I feel like streaming is a pretty good option. So if you're not streaming, why not? Is it more of an equipment thing? It took me a bit to get started into all of this because of equipment and stuff like that. Let me tell you, just like doing challenge playthroughs, I can 100% appreciate that. I am very big on challenge playthroughs. That's my entire channel, is challenges. It's one of those things I tell people I am not a streamer of whatever I am doing at any particular moment. My channel focuses around doing things that are too difficult or far too time-consuming for people to attempt, such as this. This is probably about a 2-year commitment trying to get this done. But yeah, I focus on the very difficult or time-consuming challenges. What do we do? Do we go for Coco? Or do we slap it with Takedown? You know what? Let's do Takedown. I think Takedown would be our best bet. We could go in for Caw Split, but are you going to play Fallout London after this? I am not going to play Fallout London after this. Equipment, location, business during certain parts of the year. Gotcha. Yeah, so for any of you guys who are new here, I'll give you the personal life spiel that I usually do. The reason my streams are always so short on the weekdays, I'm a financial analyst for the government, so my day job usually gets me up at 4 in the morning, go to work, come back from work, do my stream, and then I have to try and catch up on all the other stuff I have to do during my day. So I kind of I'm exhausted most of the time. But I enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing the streaming and everything else. You guys really make it worth it. Having conversations, talking to people, being able to discuss people's lives or give advice and that kind of shit. That's what makes it worth it to me, in my opinion. So, I have had to spend a stupid amount of money getting myself upgraded and ready to do stuff for stream. Because I'm emulating a lot of this stuff, I actually own the games that I have here. So anything you see me streaming, I own a physical copy, even if it's emulated. And I cannot tell you the amount of stupid money I've had to spend getting these Pokemon games. I just found, what was it? Alpha Sapphire? It's Omega Ruby Alpha. I just found Alpha Sapphire this past weekend. That was kind of a pain to track down. Because nobody wants to give up their Pokemon games, is what I found. It's kind of the problem finding these things. But, luckily, I did find sealed copies of XY, Sun, Moon, Ultra, and I've already owned Scarlet and Violet. They're also sealed because I've never played them. I've highly considered playing them in what very little spare time I have, but once human is kind of what I'm doing in my spare time. But yeah, I had to upgrade my computer, since I only had a laptop, and I hadn't actually had a full computer, I just went ahead and bought a pre-built computer to start with. It cost about, what were these, $1,000?
Something like that, but it was like a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, it was like a Black Friday deal for like $1,000. Now these things are kind of outdated, and if I went out to Costco, I could probably upgrade my computer instantaneously, just by buying something like that, but... Do you have you thought about the cooking or doing the cooking stream? Or a just chatting stream? I mean, I could do just chatting streams. Like I said before, a cooking stream would take a little bit to go ahead and set up. It's not something I could just do. Yeah, I think this is the better option, going for the Intimidate. Shoot. Let's go for Water Pulse. Try and hit it for confusion. I'm gonna fall asleep here. We're gonna go for the Poke Flute, I think is a better option. Because if he rests after, that's fine. I'm A-okay with him going for the rest after. But that means he'll be asleep and I will not. We're gonna bank on the 1 in 5. $1,000 in currency is 278,000. Where do you live at? If you don't mind me asking. We'll never wake up on the first one, so... Yeah, like, I don't have as much spending money as I'd like. I spend a lot of time putting stuff away. So, like, and I always tell people, if any money ever comes into the stream, all of that money is going directly back into the stream. I reinvest any money that comes into me to making the stream better. Yeah, I went ahead, gave a huge long and returned to the mountains. What mountains? Where did it come from? Something I did during my water type run was to use a B barrel to buff attacks and then a headbutt. It nearly failed, but the barrel clutched up and ensured success. That's awesome. Isn't it always great when you have like 2 HP and you manage to go ahead and finish off a fight or something like that? It's such an amazing experience. Is this the Super Rod guy? I think it is. Fishing guru, I love fishing. Tell me, do you like to fish? Grand. We can be friends. Yep, this is the Super Rod. Which means that we can go back into... We can go into the Safari Zone... And we can go into Zone 4 and possibly see about getting ourselves a Dratini or something. I think this might be the electrician here. Electricity, yep. This is the guy I'm afraid of. There are not many trainers I am afraid of in this run. This is one of them. Because I believe both of these are self-destructors. I believe both his Voltorb and his Electrode are self-destructors. It was Friendship Mechanics saving the day because of the ability Simple. So, I'm not too familiar with a lot of the abilities. What does Simple do? Favorite food? Oof. Oh, boy, that's such a hard question. Probably favorite simple food is the banana. If we're talking more complex stuff, I guess I'll kind of go up the ladder. Oh, boy. That thing could have outsped me. I guess I'll kind of go up the ladder in terms of food here. If it's simple food, the banana. There's nothing more satisfying than just a simple banana. In terms of cooked dishes, I don't know, simple cooked food. Probably plátanos. I really love plantains. Or the empanada. Probably one of my favorite, like, snack foods. It just takes a little bit to make, but, like, other than that, the prep time isn't too bad. The empanada is really good. As for, like, complex dishes, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite complex dish. I don't think I have a favorite real, like, food. I just like food in general. Doubles any stat-altering moves like Growl and Workup. Ah, nice. Both would alter the stats lower instead of just one. Ah, I see, I see. So does that mean something like Screech or Scary Face would get, like, massive stage increase, decrease? Spare ribs? I mean, spare ribs are alright.
Oh, you just reminded me to put those ribs down.
Camper Justin, why are you standing like this? Why is this guy posed like this? Ever tried Pakistani or Indian food? Yeah, I've tried quite a few dishes from all over. I couldn't tell you what my favorite is. I will say I do like Pakistani food over Indian food, though.
I like halal food.
Indian food is alright. Very flavorful stuff. But I don't know, I'm just more partial to Pakistani flavors. My stepmother was Moroccan, so I grew up with a lot of like Middle Eastern dishes and stuff in the house, in my household and whatnot. So I just am much more familiar with that kind of cooking. Yes, at least I think so. Never tested it. Yeah, I wouldn't know either, so don't worry. We're both in the same boat. Because this game is obsessed with weird stances, just like the girl butts. You know, I don't ever notice the girl butts. Girl butt ain't even crossing my mind. I play Pokemon. You think I got time to think about girl butt? Yes, look at that Magikarp. Those girls that are standing with their butts to you. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I've ever seen a girl, like, thrust their butt at me in any way. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe of all places. Notice the problem in different games. Watch anime? Yeah, I love anime. So I'm in the process of catching up on a lot of old anime. Let me fucking tell you how excited I was that Tower of God came back. I have been waiting for Tower of God to come back for so fucking long. And then I saw Tower of God come back, and I almost about lost my mind and threw myself out a window. I was so happy to see Tower of God finally get a new season. That ending in Season 1 made me so upset. And I had been holding on to that rage for ages. But yeah, I watch anime. my list of anime is super, super long. You know you're lying. You said one time that this game is weird. I don't know what you're talking about. If it's not on camera, you can't say I said it. So, neener. In terms of favorite anime, oof, that would be hard. I really like No Game, No Life, and I really wish the anime or the manga would get an adaptation. I think the whole concept is pretty good. My favorite ever anime, though, has got to be Kaiji. Kaiji Ultimate Survivor is... peak. The animation takes a lot of getting used to for people who have not ever encountered it. But man, Kaiji's a lot of influence for most of the gambling animes that you see nowadays. A lot of the stuff in Squid Games was directly used from Kaiji. So, like, yeah, Kaiji, ooh, chef's kiss, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, you know, 3 weebs out of 3 approve. Alright, where the heck are we? I'm over here trying to figure out where I am at by looking at myself. First noticed the girl body issues watching a different streamer play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the pink gold peach. I mean, I don't really have much of a problem with the way that people decide to emphasize bodies. I understand that people will be like, it's sexist, you can't go ahead and say stuff like that, or you can't go ahead and present somebody in this way, you gotta go ahead and think. I'm like, but at the end of the day, you know, people are playing it either for the gameplay, the graphics, or the mechanics. You know, you gotta appeal to a bunch of people. If you don't have an appealing design, people aren't gonna really enjoy it. Like, even, like, 8-bit pixel, 16-bit, 32-bit stuff still has an appealing design. I mean, they're designed to be that way. If your focus is on the actual characters themselves, I mean, cool and all. And Mario Kart is more of a mechanics thing. Some people are gonna go ahead and come in for the like, characters designs and stuff, but I don't think I've ever had a problem with it. I also have almost always chosen female characters, ever since I was a kid. When Street Fighter 2 was out, I didn't know how to play Street Fighter 2, but I knew that Chun-Li was really good, and I knew Chun-Li was really fast, so Kid Brain told me, oh, women equal fast. So forever onwards, I have always associated speed with women in video games, so I always choose the women, because my brain is always like, they're faster. So, I'm bothered more by the fact that the racer was doing something sus while waiting for the green light. Ah, I see. It's the streamers who do it.
It's always suspicious if you interpret it as suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. This is Route 12, right? I completely looked at the map for like 8 years and then couldn't remember what it was. Route 12. What do we have access to in Route 12? Let us see. Maybe you should make a game that's so weird that like a few 100,000 people would play it and love it. I have some ideas, but I don't have the time to go ahead and learn the programming associated with it. And I don't have a programmer that I could put under contract. Let me tell you, if I had somebody who could actually program that I could hire to put under contract to help make this game, I absolutely would. Is talking about religion banned? I mean, normally most people, when they come in to talk about religion, they tend to take it too far. I wouldn't say talking about religion is banned, but why would you want to come into a stream to talk about religion? Especially if it wasn't, like, brought up previously. If it came up in a natural conversation, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have any issues with it. But if it's just, like, suddenly, God is great, God is good, God is the one who gets our food, you know, comes up, and it's just, like, out of nowhere, it just a little odd. I mean, it's not banned, it just, I prefer it to come up naturally rather than just suddenly have it stake through my heart and everyone has to, you know, handle it. This is why I'm glad my own MK8 main physically can't repeat the sus behavior. I don't think I've ever tried to do sus behavior stuff in my games. I kind of fare away from it, mainly because I'm usually too concerned with accomplishing whatever I'm setting out to do, rather than trying to make content. My content can be boring. A lot of people tend to come for the conversations and such, but really, my content can be overwhelmingly boring. Okay, so Pidgey, Oddish, Venonat, or Gloom are the possible options with a 30-35 split. No, a 30-35-30 split. I think we do own a Pidgey, so that cuts it out, and that leaves us with a two-thirds chance of running into something. Yeah, two-thirds chance of running into something. I don't know if we would want Venonat. It's not really that strong. Go for the glue-sniffing kid. What? We could fish here. I forgot about that. And since we have a Super Rod, 1% Psyduck, 1% Slowpoke, 84%... Oh, that's on Leaf Green. 84% Horsies. 84% Horsey. That's not looking too hot. You said glue? I did? Did I say glue? Oh, shit. I don't even remember. Time for you. Let's see. It said there was a special encounter here? Or possible special encounter? In Generations 1 and 3. Oh, okay. Got it. The Snorlax. Disregard. I don't think there's anything worth it on this place here, so... Yeah, let's just roll. Electrode, more campers, fishermen, more fishermen. Those are all rematch stuff. So, yeah, there's no need to go into the grass. It's not worth it. Route 13. I think that's just before Fuchsia, so we have probably Oddishes and stuff. She's probably using Nidorans, Goldines. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Pidgeys, Oddishes, Venonats, with a 5% chance at a Ditto. Maybe we should roll the Lucky Lotto and see if we can get a Ditto. Go at that 1% Psyduck. We all know it won't happen. Oh, geez. Okay. We're so close to Drill Peck. So close. I think Drill Peck's at level 40. Probably one of the greatest bird moves. I know a lot of people tend to like Aerial Ace, but I think Drill Peck is just a phenomenal move. Random facts. Got too many challenge playthrough parameters to work my way through, especially when considering variants of the challenge parameters already set up. What makes your challenges so difficult? And also, why do you like such difficult challenges? Marowak should have been a ghost type. I think that's why they went for the ghost typing in, afterwards in the new, like, the Alola variants, I think they are. I think that's why they went for that. Pidgey and Yotos. We can deal with the birds. They're just gonna be Pidgey and Pidgeotos, so... What's your favorite challenge that you've done? I'll be honest, my favorite challenge has still been Arc. Like, it's so hard not to compare any challenge against Arc that I've done. It was such a good... Oh, come on. I think I could beat it in the speed battle, but still... Rhydon could be a Dragon Ground. There's a lot of Pokemon that I feel like the typing really could have been done better. Especially when you consider something like... Whoa! Gust can still hit you even when you're in the air? Huh. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Gust could hit a fly. I thought it would miss. There's a lot of Pokemon that I feel like the typing could have been better done, but I mean, take a look when it was designed and everything else. Those were times where, you know, those are simpler times. I don't think any of us expected Pokemon to last this long, to be honest. It's not that they're too difficult ones necessarily, it's more they have too many number-wise to get through. Ah, gotcha. As for favorite challenge I've done, I think it has to be called the Type Challenge. Azon, lately I've been pretending that I am in a Maze Runner-like situation. Are you doing that while you're running? Because I definitely do that all the time. I used to imagine, like, I had these ending situations where I'm like, fuck, if I stop running, everything gets nuked. I used to do that all the time when I ran. It was stupidly good motivation for some dumb reason. Essentially a type specialist run. Ah. What game? You gonna use Pikachu? That's right, I'm gonna go ahead and use Richard. Show you what a real Pikachu looks like. This is basically the exact same trainer that I fought at that other place. This is the same fight. It's quick attack. I'm gonna dig. It's either gonna quick attack or it's gonna double team. Yeah, this is the same setup. So weird. What games do you think they should have done instead of Let's Go? I'm glad that they're making a new... Oh, because of, garbage. I'm glad that they're making a new Legends series, but I'm very upset that they decided it's going to be in the city only. I cannot see Legends being good if they do that. Especially if they decide that they're gonna make a full-blown, like, cityscape, and then they're gonna go ahead and go back to regular mainline games, and then they're gonna give us, like, 2 houses and 3 people, and be like, hey, you've wound up in Butt Sniffer Town. Like, really? You're gonna tell me that you can go ahead and make this thing, but then suddenly, we're gonna have to go back to, like, 3 buildings, 2 houses, and a person trying to teach their Rattata how to pounce? I think... in my personal opinion, I have been waiting for them to make a real-time battle Pokemon game. You know why Unite is so good? Because it's real-time battle. You know why Pokken Tournament is so good? Real-time battle. Arceus had the option to do real-time battle. It didn't. You know why Pal World blew it out of the water for a while? Real-time battle. Instead of this wait time, you hit me, I hit you, let's get together and do this, like, real-time battle. That's all it needs. You want to bring people back into the series, make it so that way the Pokemon are fighting in real time. Instead of worrying about Pokemon power, you have skill cooldowns, the same way that an MMO would. You give people the option to have multiple attacks and stuff, so Pokemon could have like 4 to 6 attacks, but you give them cooldowns on their stuff. So their basic attack, things like Tackle, wouldn't have like a massive cooldown. It'd have like a 1-second cooldown, so they could go to a Tackle, do a dodge, and go in for like another Tackle immediately. But things like Vine Whip, they wouldn't necessarily have it. Or things like Razor Leaf would be used only so many times. That's Pokemon Unite. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is real time, but that's a MOBA. I mean, I'm talking about an actual battle system Pokemon. That's what frustrates me more than turn-based battles. I love real-time battles. I think real-time battles would make the series good, and I feel like the battle time wait system is a horrifically outdated system that should have been done away with forever ago. Just my opinions, though. I know that a lot of people would disagree with me about it. I don't think there's a good spot here to do any of this. I don't necessarily need to fight any of these dudes, so I think that's pretty much good for right now. But yeah, turn-based system, it blows. It can suck an egg, as far as I'm concerned. Really, an actual battle time system would be phenomenal. And let me tell you how hard my hand would slam down with the cash to buy an actual real-time battle Pokemon. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it for today's stream. As always, for those of you guys who are new to the channel, make sure to like, sub, share, follow. All of that good stuff helps the channel grow. Gen 10 is probably gonna suck. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe. It depends on what they do with it. For those of you guys who are returning, thank you once again for taking the time out of your day to come see me. We'll be back again tomorrow. Regularly scheduled broadcast for all of you new people. Usually 6 days a week. I try and take off Tuesdays so I can get some stuff done here or there. But yeah. 2 hours during the weekdays. A little longer during the weekends. You guys have a fantastic day. See you all again tomorrow. And until then, stay cool, stay safe, stay golden.